I'm Yamikani Chico from Malawi. November 12th was the greatest day worldwide. We have been living in the darkness for a long time about the causes of climate change and all calamities we people are facing. It was a great shock and panic to see that the time left to save our planet is about 5 to 6 years, and by 2036, the whole planet will end. This indicated that we only have very few years to work extra hard to save our lives and our planet. We are very happy that there is a solution to all these calamities. It's all about building a creative society which will stop the climate change and will create a society worth living to everyone and the future generation. Indeed, love and unity are only a password for our achievements. Let's work extra hard spreading this information by all means towards unification so that we can build this society very soon. Much love to all participants. You are indeed the true heroes. Thank you.
I have just finished watching the online forum Global Crisis, Our Survival is in Unity. You know, I would like to say that this really is the greatest event in the history of humanity, because the amount of truth that was voiced today has never been voiced before. This is really a turning point in our history, because we are now faced with a really global choice. And everything will depend on our choice, whether we agree with what is happening now and just do nothing, or whether we say stop and start building our really fantastic future. And in this forum, a lot of different topics were raised. They were very unpleasant and shocking, because you see the madness that is happening today, and you just become disgusted and ashamed of yourself because of you and me, because of my inaction. What is happening in the world now is happening. But there is also a joyful moment, the second part of the forum, which shows the real way out of this situation and our future. The future as it can be. You know what I liked the most was the technology and the standard of living that awaits us if we really make the right choice. And what resonated with me the most is that the technology that will be provided in healthcare will guarantee that all people will be absolutely healthy and no one will get sick. If something comes up, it can be prevented in time, painlessly, for the individual. In fact, no one will decide, or think of anything for us. Now each of us decides and contributes a part to our future. And I want to sincerely recommend that those who have not watched this online forum yet, be sure to watch it. Do not be afraid that it lasts 12 hours. In fact, it's only 12 hours. We spend more time on TV shows and movies that last much longer. And the information here is not only shocking, but also very pleasant, very inspiring. And it sets up for those positive feelings that cheer you up about what prospects may await us.
I would like to talk about the climate catastrophes that are happening unfortunately right now, and many people are suffering because of this process. I would like to add a lot of things that I have seen on the forum. I would like to highlight the problems and how we can fix them after all. So we tend to, metaphorically speaking, call the climate catastrophes the climate Cerberus, which is basically a beast, but in its own metaphor, it is eating and devouring our planet. And what we have to do right now is to put the leash back to the beast, because the beast is devouring everything, and those people cannot get their houses back, their families back, and everybody there cannot be back to life. And that is the most important thing that we have to do right now. It is our first common enemy to everyone, which is the climate catastrophe. And these climate catastrophes are developing right now. They're not just staying and happening at the same time. No, they're developing themselves and become even worse and more frequent. As we can see nowadays, from what the people have seen in the Global Crisis Forum, that people are suffering all around the world. And all of these processes are leading and growing up until the 2036, when the whole planet is gonna be auto-destroyed by its own. And how is that happening? Well, let's start with the beginning. Right now, our electromagnetic field is weakening due to the dynamics of the core of the planet. And these are happenings because of the cosmic radiation that is affecting our planet. And not just our planet, but the whole solar system. All the planets are being affected right now as we're speaking, and our planet as well. Well, right now, our solar system is in the 12,000 cycle, 12,000 years of cycle. And this 12,000 years of cycle, there's another 24,000 years of cycle, which is this one. The 24,000 years is even worse than the 12,000. So not just we're just in trouble, but let's say if we are going to another planet, we cannot live in there, since it's happening in all the planets. And right now, we have to take the decision, since we got the opportunity to build up the creative society. Otherwise, we'll get being eaten by the climate Cerberus. And we don't want that, and we consciously understand it. But many of us, we don't want to admit that we want to live in a creative society. And second of all, we can live better in the creative society. Not just we're gonna fix everything that is broken, but we're gonna save ourselves from the climate catastrophes due to unification of the scientists. That is the most important thing that we get. Our development will constantly and tremendously grow up. Not like this, not like today that is happening. It can be better, but the only one that is stopping us is our mind, and we have to be better. We have to be stronger than our minds, isn't it? It is.
Right now, we are broadcasting the forum Global Crisis, Our Survivals in Unity. The information that was voiced at this forum is actually shocking. And it divides life into before and after. Because when you understand the real prospects and the forecasts scientists have made for the next decades, it makes you understand the responsibility of every person for every day, for every action aimed at spreading this information. It's really vital. And it's very important that everyone learns this and takes action, because our life really depends on it. And there are two such contrasting scenarios. One scenario is when we support our consumer world and then nothing good happens to us. And a very contrasting variant is the creative society, where everyone's life will be valuable.
It is almost impossible to explain what is this forum in just a few words. In 2 words, I would just say to everyone, watch it. In a little bit more words, it explains 2 ways for us as as humanity. Because unfortunately we are not yet a human civilization, because we are not yet united as we should be. It shows us two ways, two scenarios, and both of them are very much realistic. There is no fantasy, there is no kind of science fiction in both of them. One of them is a doomsday scenario, and many people might say that it is like some kind of fishmongering and frightening people, but when a doctor tells the patient about how many days is left for him and what measures he should take to avoid it, is it fishmongering? It is just a reality which we should face if we want to change something. And another scenario, which some might explain as too much futuristic and fantastic one, but it is also a reality which we can implement if we unite, when we unite and implement all of the beautiful technologies and opportunities which we already have. And this forum, first of all, showed the mathematical model of what will happen with our climate, with our planet, and with us as disintegrated human beings as we are now, if we leave everything as it is. And another scenario is about what we will do when we unite and we decide that, yes, we finally can live as one human civilization, as one whole being, and we decide everything together. We decide to put a human life finally at the first place. It is written in every constitution of the world that human life should be preserved, but unfortunately it is not so in reality, because otherwise we wouldn't have wars, we wouldn't have poisonous medicine, and we wouldn't have people dying of the lack of food or water. And even taking what we already have today, and Forum has shown so many beautiful solutions and technologies our best scientists have already developed, which we can implement already today, already tomorrow, to make our lives so much more beautiful. And when we unite, finally, what great prospects will open in front of us. It is really unimaginable. No science fiction writer have ever described what is waiting us when we unite. And it starts with really some small steps, as admitting the truth and starting to act, starting this process of unification. And the forum on 12th November, Global Crisis, Our Survival is in Unity, was one of those first steps. So watching it and sharing this information will be a really great step for each of us towards this future. Thank you.
During the simultaneous interpreting, I also realized for myself how little we actually know. It's important. It can't be skipped. I really felt during interpreting that if a high-rise building is on fire and you happen to be in the high floor and the first and second floors are already on fire and people are dying there, it is impossible to sit quietly and think that the fire will not reach you. This is the greatest danger for all of us. We must come together as links in a chain and make a quality life. Make a good future, projected future. And not like today, a volcano happened and the earth went down into the unknown. So I thank those people, the volunteers who are doing these issues. Thank you to the team that invited me. I willingly came to this event, and I'm just happy that I was able to devote these 2 hours, not only to myself, but to each of you. Thank you.